Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome back to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a little bit about my last week in games. As always, we'll start with EVE Online, and I've played an average amount of EVE Online, but something that's actually surprising me, I did not go into the Abyss at all last week. I had a lot more fun just going back out there for some exploration in the Auto Jackdaw. It's been going quite nicely. I had a couple of very nice drops in some of the 3 and 4 out of 10s that I found, and basically I feel like it's a bit less busy in exploration, and so with a bit less competition I feel like I've got a better chance at finding some of those good combat signatures, which is what I enjoy most basically in EVE Online, when I'm not actively hunting too much for a very specific goal. So that's really what I've been doing for my active gameplay in EVE. Next week there will be a moon extraction on a Thursday, so I might try to get a little bit of mining done there as well. Although when it comes to the moon mining stuff, I personally go for the sources of Zydrine and Megasite for my focus on mining. It's less ISK per hour by quite a little bit, but there's a very good reason for that. You can compress those ores, and you can't compress the ores that create Tech 2 based materials, and that is a very big difference, because I don't want to have to like take a freighter out to Cheetah or something like that in order to move my materials. I want to be able to use a pretty fast transport ship, and so I focus on ores that I can compress, and then I'm gathering all of those in Cheetah ready to sell them when we have better times for minerals, which are, well, extremely low at the moment, although Tritanium and Mexalon are holding on quite nicely. They're really doing their best to keep our ISK per hour up. The others are really so low that it's having a massive impact on the Tech 1 market, which for me personally, it depends on how much time I have. I'm also looking into doing a bit more industry maybe in the upcoming weeks, because you can grab very cheap minerals and you can definitely build cheap ships that way. So if you could make yourself a little bit of a reserve in maybe some popular cruisers, maybe modules, I don't know, I should really look into all of that. I do think that there's quite a bit of ISK to be made in industry right now, if you can prepare now and then sell at the right time later. And that is maybe something that I'll look into actively. And other than that, just the regular stuff, bit of PI, selling some blueprint copies, and just generally enjoying the game, looking forward to my next big step, which does take quite a little bit of time. I think it's like 34 more days or so until I get Marauder 5, when I'll finally buy the Golem. Next up, I want to talk a little bit about Skyrim, because that game has dropped off a little bit. I played some of it early on in the week, but in the second part of the week I basically looked forward to something else, which is Diablo 3. I am actively playing that as well, but I'm still in like the leveling phase, which is rather boring. So let's just cover those two games right here. For Skyrim, I have this archer and I'm still building him up a little bit until I get him to the point where I feel comfortable going into some quest chains and maybe making some videos, but those plans are for like maybe after Diablo, after the season or something like that, when I have the time and when I feel like really investing some time into Skyrim again. And of course for Diablo 3 I'm playing with a Necromancer. It's pretty fun. I'm just not sure how I'm going to make the set that will drop from the season rewards work, but overall I am of course still having a lot of fun when it comes to Diablo 3 and when it comes to the seasonal things that you can do there. Basically it's made in such a way that it's really accessible. In maybe a week to 2 weeks playing very casually, you can very easily get the rewards and basically finish one of those seasons. And if you want to, of course, you can push quite hardcore, trying to get like the max Paragon levels and get into like all the greater rifts up to really high levels. So there is room for the casual player like myself that just wants to get in the season, get the rewards, re-explore the game, make a new character and see what it has to offer at the moment. Just quick fun for a couple of weeks at most during a season. And you can also go very hardcore if you want to keep grinding out, decking your character out with the very best of stuff and just lose yourself in the game if you want to do that as well. So there's both of those options, and both of them feel quite rewarding. So that's what I've been doing at the moment. Skyrim. Diablo wise, at the moment the focus is back a little bit on Diablo, but yeah, quite casually I'm basically still leveling up the character right now. Next up we have the World of Warcraft. That has been a little bit less than average. I've really been focusing on basically doing a little bit of EVE Online stuff because I felt like playing more there, and so most of my evenings have just been log in, do my emissaries, basically log back out. Sometimes I also do a quick battleground, and we also spent a little bit of time in war games, I think, where Dagon, Vobo and one of his friends and then myself, we made 2 teams, and we just decided to do some arena stuff together just to test things out. So we had like Paladin with my Shaman, and then we had Warlock with Monk on the other side. It was very interesting, and it is good practice when you can do that with friends, but it just kept confirming for me that the arena, and especially ranked arena, that's just, you know, too intense for me. I get stressed out for that. I get frustrated, especially when I'm doing bad or when I'm making mistakes and things like that. I'll realize that, and then I'll be like, God damn it, what the hell is happening here? Start throwing blame around. I remember that from the old days of World of Warcraft when I tried to play some arenas with my brother, and that just became very frustrating. We became angry at each other for mistakes and things like that. So honestly, the arena in World of Warcraft, I can understand that for some people that really enjoy PvP and that want to be on the cutting edge of what's possible with their class PvP wise. That's where you have to go. But for me, that is not the way that I personally enjoy WoW. I much prefer battlegrounds where it's a bit more casual and where you can basically get carried by the team if you make mistakes, but also if you're playing really well, you can also feel like you're helping, like you're carrying the team, like you're making the difference. Whereas in arena, it all depends on just you and your team mate. Perhaps another one if it's 3 versus 3, and it's just so crucial that you stay on top of everything that happens there. You can't make a single mistake or your entire team is let down. Yeah, that's just not really my way of enjoying World of Warcraft, basically. And then for my final game, we have a little bit of Hearthstone as well. So Blizzard has been coming out with some gifts for us. For instance, I got a free arena, which I ran. Didn't go that well, but there were some pretty good games that happened during that arena. So that's a couple of videos that'll come later on. And for the rest, yeah, I did still play a couple of those solo adventures, just trying to enjoy the game. So at the moment, I do still enjoy Hearthstone, but it is dropping off with everything else that's coming on the horizon at the moment, and especially now with E3. There are a lot of new games that to me look quite interesting, that I definitely want to keep a close eye on and that I'll probably want to play. So it is dropping off again as well, just like Skyrim is dropping off a little bit because of the Diablo season. With Hearthstone, yeah, I'm also basically not playing that all too intensively at the moment. Free to play, I honestly get that vibe from time to time whenever Blizzard sends you like a mail with your stats, or whenever they give you those gifts. It's always a little bit to entice you to like get back into the game and maybe to purchase some stuff, and that is really not what I'm looking to do in Hearthstone. I'm looking to just enjoy that once in a while as a very casual and relaxed experience, which once you start to put money in there, I also do feel like you'll need to put in the time, you'll need to basically get the results a little bit, and that is really not what I'm looking for there. So I'm just, you know, enjoying the extra gifts, but I'm not going to do anything too crazy in Hearthstone. Instead, what I want to do is I'm looking forward to finishing the Diablo season. Then for World of Warcraft, we'll have the pre-patch that will probably be coming early July. So there'll probably be some World of Warcraft time there, you know, finding out about all the class changes, playing the game that way, enjoying the story. There might even be a couple of videos in there, I think. And then, of course, mid-August we'll have the World of Warcraft expansion. That should be a couple of months at least. Well, maybe not. Maybe at first we'll start with like 4 or 5 weeks to see how hard we can push WoW and how much we're enjoying the expansion. So that's definitely the plan after that. But then, of course, we've got all of that E3 stuff. And to be honest, of course, Fallout 76, I do look forward to that. In fact, my brother already said that he wanted to play that together with me. So that is definitely on the radar. It's Bethesda, it's Fallout. For me personally, I think it's gonna be an instant buy, maybe even a pre-order. Who knows? Because for the first time in one of the Bethesda games, I mean, I know that there's been betas in Quake and in Doom, I think, for the multiplayer, but in something like a Skyrim or a Fallout, I've never heard of a beta phase. That is going to come this time around, and so yeah, I might try to get into that and pre-order the game. To me, honestly, the concept looks quite interesting, where you will be able to play solo if you absolutely want to, but then you'll have to contend with potential players out there in your world. To me, that concept looks quite interesting. So Fallout 76 is definitely on the radar. Battlefield 5, yeah, sort of on the radar as well. Definitely one that I'll at first see what the reviews say, see how everything works out, but it's been a very long time since I've played a Battlefield game, and just the graphics on that one look absolutely amazing. So for me, it's definitely a possible, but I do think that I'll wait for reviews, and if those look good, I'll probably pay full price for Battlefield 5 myself. And anything else on the radar? Well, the rest is of course longer term. We've got Elder Scrolls 6, but that's really quite far out. We've got Starfield. They really didn't show anything about the game itself, so can't really say much about that. And then there was another game on the first day. I'm not sure, it was like a Destiny 2. What was the game? Anthem. Yep, there you go. It was Anthem. Well, that one looks interesting to me. I thought the graphics were very nice, and the ability to fly, I think, could really open up the experience, which is something that in Destiny 2 felt quite a bit limited and on rails. Once you got through a bit of the content, which didn't take more than a week, you really knew all the maps, and the world felt a lot smaller and more instanced than what I was personally expecting. I think that in Anthem it could be quite a bit bigger and more interesting as well, but on that one it's basically a step below what I'm looking forward to for Battlefield 5 there. I'll need to see the reviews, I'll need to see gameplay, and I'll probably wait for a sale just like I did with Destiny 2. I don't regret my purchase of Destiny 2, even though I'm not actively playing the game anymore, and I basically just did a week for the story and then another week to like gear out my character a little bit, see what I can do solo casually, and then that's it. But I got my time out of it because it was on sale. And so for Anthem, well, it all depends of course on what we actually learn about the game as we get closer to a release date there, but for me that's the way I'm looking at Anthem. Could be interesting. I do think that the game has potential, but yeah, I'd definitely be willing to wait for a sale before I jump on that ship. And that's pretty much it for this week, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.